Coming to you live at 0800 hours, 26 minutes. I'm not going to be on here long. So get ready, prepare. It won't be that long. And I just want to talk about some things. And that's real quick that I know now for a fact. Brothers, we don't have allies. And I want you to check out some channels. I'm going to show you in a little bit. And I'm not going to be long on it. So what I want to speak on is some people probably read a lot of my stuff and a lot of things that I have going on. They probably don't think I don't call out men. They probably think that I think men are so great and we are so strong. We are such this backbone, which I feel we are when it's done right. When it's not done right, or when we as men don't stand up for what we supposed to stand up. Like for me, such as for me, see, I left the white topic alone. See, I stayed with only talking about us. So I'm not going to compare. The crazy thing is how people that experience something that you can't control. My response is not to go fight and kill and shoot somebody just because somebody called me the N-word. Just because a person of my ethnicity doesn't see my way, I don't belittle or berate or degrade. I don't demean them. I try to find ways first before I get to a level to say, oh, I don't respect you anymore. And I will start talking to you that way, because respect is actually having a time out to understand what a person experienced, and it's not a controllable experience. But to negate their experience, but the saddest part is how we negate experiences to be as that's a call for all. We got to the point where I can say my racial experiences with other race people may not align to another man, but I will also ask that man. But I learned this when I asked this man, especially if I ask I thought he a quote unquote black man. I'm gonna say quote unquote because no longer I respect him. So now he's just a nigga to me. That he will align more, well, not even align. He will connect more with race that literally will tell him they're scared of him and hate him to his face. They will literally say it. Sometimes they would do it indirectly. He was the brothers, they basing their money income intake on how they are in society. What do that sound as? That sound as respect? Nah. Respect is when I walk in a room and somebody talking about me, they say, oh man, and you realize it. You leave them alone. You don't keep saying, well, it don't happen to me. It never happened this way. Or that's not what he really mean. We got defenders. They're defending other race people. In my whole entire life, I can be honest and true to say this. I never seen another race person defend us as a whole. I never seen nobody defend it. But we are the only ones that defend other race. So that's why I would say to my brothers, we don't have allies. We don't have people that once they start making money, they don't think the same. I used to hang out with my uncle, and now that I'm older, I thought he what we call the Uncle Tom. And it's crazy. And listening to these dudes that's on these streams, he made thousands and he made million. My uncle made $1 million in his life. He made millions of dollars. But at the same time, this was the live. I want you to check it out. They were allowing. My uncle didn't. He didn't do that. I always thought my uncle was one of these coon, Toby acting type of dudes. I used to think that until I'm older now. I get to talk to my uncle. I get to ask him, what do he think? And I don't think my uncle talked because he shared a lot of things with me. He shared, even at one time, a Caucasian guy came up to him and he tripped and fell. He knew the guy, it was his neighbor. He'd been around him 30 years. And he touched my uncle here. My uncle's, he's 72 now. I guess this one is probably between 50s to 72, the 60 to 72. Said, wow, your hair is soft. And what I enjoy about the story, because it shows me that my uncle understand. My uncle would never say racism don't exist. Only black people have been harsh to him. He told me so many stories. For the first time, I was shocked. But you know what? Was when people say I am a victim or I whatever this new identify, I say, no. He told my uncle that the hair was woolly. He said his parents bought a black doll for them to abuse the doll. He had 2 sisters. He said, oh man, he talked about my uncle. He said, you wouldn't want to meet my sisters. That's why you never met them, because they are very racist. He told me. Just as I was the brother, just that George Washington Carver, how you say his name, with the Bush, he was talking as if he don't know the difference between a black person and a white person attitude. You got to think about that. I asked that question to women. Do you, like when they talk black women loud? So I asked black women, do you know the difference between a white woman being attitude toward you and a black woman? See, of course, now I will use this word, quote unquote. I will identify with a black man or a black woman attitude. But I also noticed what other people attitudes, since I lived around them. I experienced it. And just as my uncle, making way more money than this dude ever made in his life, can share those experiences with me. And then the way they allowed that one girl in the middle, she identified as white Latino. Talk about my daddy was dark color. So I guess black. She didn't identify as black. If you listen, don't listen to the 8-hour video. Try to look fast forward. When they allowing this stupid chick, she's sorry. That make me think, is that brother in that behind that, is he actually one of us? I mean, one of us to understand that. I thought I was going to talk to a brother, not to be victim, to say, hold, that never happened. He kept saying, no, only black people. I had another brother. And then then after a while, you know what's funny? And this is why I stopped talking to, I had guys that I know from military, from around, I've been to so many countries. I want to say 9 countries, maybe more around the world, just by going through. It is a difference on how they treat you based on skin color. I'm sorry, it was weird watching the white military guys literally and women getting bowed to when I went to Africa. To me, it was a fascination that a 6'5" black man with an M16, I guess, you gotta remember they was trained in guerrilla warfare. If you know about how to look, I'm gonna share that. I'm learning so much about history. This dude, and the dude from Texas, he said he don't experience racism. he only get the harping and the hurt from black people only. I find that hard to believe that you can notice one side but don't notice the other side. I don't look for somebody to walk outside to call me a nigger. So basically what he said, all my experiences, I said, so I should kill him. I should have my 9 or my M16, my whatever weapon of choice, my shotgun, my M5, that should be ready to blast somebody for calling me that. Because to me, all that sound as you're assimilating. And when you assimilate, you don't find nothing wrong with your surroundings. Those attack brothers, and it's going to be sad to say, and harder to do. Is as that's going to be. I'm going to watch and look at and just. I was like, he's going to say, "Help me." That's going to be his words. It happened plenty of times. Don't think about somebody's stature or because the way they talk. Or brother was shocked. Said how he said, "Wow, you actually got money. You work hard." I didn't even see the comment. Sorry about that. Grand Rising, lovely. And I don't even click on that because I was in the zone of I didn't even go to sleep with it. I've been watching. It's so much that the world is showing us about hashtag New World Order. I'm not even thinking about that. I went to school. I went to sleep in tranquility because I know I stood for who I am and what I am and what I am. I never hear a white guy say the things that I hear these African, I don't want to call them even brothers, these males that's on that show, supposedly that's same color as me, say the things. I heard even brothers that I've been around brothers that make millions of dollars. I went to their house, had white people call the cops, and their excuse was, I seen all these, literally the words out of their mouth is, I seen all these black people over here. The literal words out of their mouth. And the brothers allowed this female to say what she said. Even in the chat, had to say, what is she talking about? She said about some history, how she's seen strong black women and men doing that, even though they was being prejudiced and biased and racist and discriminative towards them because of their skin color. She tried to use Dr. Martin Luther King by my character. She said for the most time, when they see something happen to someone, is based on their character. I said, what in the blasphemy? And then it was black women on the panel. I don't know about this lady. This was 2 hours and 52 minutes later. Her right here, I don't know about her. I don't know what she said, but this heifer, they didn't check her. He didn't check her. They identified with her. How? I have no clue. I have no clue whatsoever. How was I identifying with a woman that's white Latino? But this is the reason I make these videos to let you know, this dude, if you find out his name, he's not on our side. I had to unsubscribe because this dude, I'm thinking, he talking, and he got to make you think, yeah, I have my beef with black women do treat me different. You got to remember, there's things that happen that you have no control over, but to not deny they exist or that they're there. So like, dang, I know by my house, like I can literally use that analogy on a serious tip. A tree fell, a literal tree fell. I might have heard it, but I didn't hear it fall. Did that tree make a noise? Yes, that tree made a noise. So to say that it don't exist, to say that, well, it didn't make no noise when the tree fell. You just wasn't there. I'm not going to negate. But the thing is, I want people to understand me or other people, we're not living our lives this way. To say it's somebody's fault. No, we identify that it actually exists. You know, when I identify something, the real thing that showed me that something really exists, when little kids walk up to me. I have 2 white female I can call friends. And you know, of course, I got everybody other my race. Of course, I got friends of my race, or I can call a friend, or had called a friend, or could call a friend. She remember when she was a kid, her father called the girl, as I was saying, I want to finish that other story, a burnt French fry. That little black girl didn't hear her father call her that, but her father thought to call her a burnt French fry. So I want the white Latino, the chick in the top screen corner, the dude with the Washington Carver, the chess dude, to understand. Well, at least the dude in the chess, well, I can get understand. He tried to ask me a question, but I was pretty much done. I did get angered, but I actually had to think about it. But I wasn't angered in the wrong way. I was angered in the right way. I wasn't an anger to want to kill or shoot or harm them brothers or any man or person at that time. It's just, it's not people like, oh, get off. I don't want to get off social media, because social media is showing me, if I was to do an actual real community and unity, and I want everybody to come together, how would the white Latino, the Carver, the chess, and the chick that's hosting the show, and it's the other chick, she didn't check her. Maybe she's in the show at some point. So let me see if it'll come up, try to let it load. Her right here didn't say nothing. You know what they was really doing? They was bowing out to her. And that's what I noticed we do. We bow down. She bowed down, talking about, well, this heifer had to say, this is another thing. I even her live. I don't know what's wrong with her. I have no clue. I learned we have so much black hatred. We hate ourselves, but we love how you have, see, person is based on their skin color, but how they act. Thank you. Like, you have to see the super chats and the comments. It's weird. I'm about to jump off in about 3 more minutes. I don't know what to say on the topic anymore, and just stick to my Brother Talk series. Stick on Imagine That. And I want to do the introduction to the New World Order. I was going to start it on Monday. I'm going to start it this week if I get the spirit to start it. It's so much that's going on. I'm not even, I got to remember. I just know now when something go down, just like I told the Brum brother, you hate, you can say black people this and that. I say, let's use your hatred towards you of black people. Exactly. And there's 50 black kids that run at you. You ever played a game where there's droves and waves of enemies coming at you, quote unquote, or adversaries? You shoot 20 black kids, another 20 black kids. You shoot those, another. How many bullets do you have? How many bombs do you got? How many times can you swing your arms with a knife or a sword? How long is that going to last till you realize, damn, I can't keep doing this? Something's going to have to give eventually, where I don't care how much I say something don't exist, it does exist. So what I say unto one, I say unto all. It's your path, it's your journey, it's your choice. Choose wisely. Thank you, lovely Miss Southern Bell. I would check out her channel. I was so into it. I didn't highlight her channel. It's literally her name. I didn't even hit the high. I wanted to share that because it made me think on another level. Every time I listened to, I thought people were the same race, and we can say even an Indian can have some type of understanding of another Indian. Not that you're a victim, not that you're I don't know the words you want to use, because I don't use those words. I grew up in a family where I didn't experience a lot of things. I didn't experience the hair color, or a black woman down in black men that had a black woman, or tell black women, or they allowed a white woman to come in. White women, that's the difference. They knew better. Like, even in my space, no person that would say, I'm a white Latino. Cool, say that. Well, say the things she said or allow. No brother in my space. Well, I would say, I'll say, brother, wow, you did that? And the other brothers will check them. See, that's the type of men I'm around. See, I don't expect these type of black men, these type of brown dudes, whatever you call them, they ninjas, to have that same what's the word? What's that same love? You know the word I'm thinking of, for being the race they are, based on a few. Because if you basing it on a few, why don't you give the same cause and status or problems or the things you go through with them that you do with your own? You have a good day. And I just want probably do another one another time, a part 2 to this and more of a presentation. But I wanted to share that, get it off my chest. That's weird. Please go to that. Hold on, let me open it back up. Go to the video. Listen. You agree? One moment. You agree? Am I racist? She had to explain. She had to respond to racism. That lets you know right there. I don't have to do that. Either you did something against me, either you understand me, we could be understood, you know what's going on, or you don't. Period, point blank. There is no gray area in this one. Aleichem shalom. Thank you, Southern Belle, for coming through.